Taylor Swift is a link builder. There were rumors that she would get engaged. Our client said, let's give them a free wedding venue. And then we got them 50 links. That's digital PR.
Wix Studio, one end-to-end web creation platform for your agency to deliver exceptional work with absolute efficiency.
Managing multiple clients or large websites? Automate your SEO with Ali AI. Start your free trial now.
Today, I'm not going to talk about SEO. No, I want to talk about people and not the C-suite. So why do campaigns fail? Well, there's many reasons. And the best way to introduce it, I'm going to tell you a little story that happened to me. So we had this client, amazing client, with a great relationship, and we came up with this massive idea of DPR campaign, built the campaign, got the developers involved, the designer involved, even the PR company agreed on the concept, and that's quite big. We built a game, and this game was ready to go live. We're all excited. We're going to get many links from it. And 2 days before, someone came and said, no, can do. And that team was legal. Everybody knew it. Marketing, operations, they were all involved. But legal came at the last minute and shut us down. So, as I said, there's many reasons why campaign fails. First one, skills. You might just be bad at it. It happens. It's not because you have a license and SEM rush and you're good at SEO. Budget. Many people will tell you, oh, but budget is not important. Just be creative with the money. Well, it's getting harder and harder to do great SEO with little budget. So plan ahead. And finally, implementation, or the lack of implementation, which is what I'm going to talk about today. So, implementation, that's a definition. I'm going to leave it for a second so you can read it. Looks very easy, right? It's two-liner, few words. So why on earth is implementation so difficult? Well, if we go back to definition, there was decision and plan, and decisions are hard. And many people struggle with decisions, yeah? So that's why it's difficult. And it's a collective decision. Not just you, not just the marketing manager, is the whole business needs to agree on this. So for the sake of today, we have marketing. We'll try to get the website to be known. We have the brand manager, yeah, because you need a brand manager. We need compliance, we need legal, every business needs it, and they usually shut you down at the end of the campaign, but we'll talk about it later. And you have the developers who are not here to do SEO, by the way. They have a lot of things to do, and usually just making the website work. So if you haven't talked your strategy with them and they haven't all agreed to it, and I mean, the decision needs to be agreed by everyone, not just you, not just marketing, not just PR, everyone, this can lead to either failure or success. And as the example I told before, we experienced this, and it's really painful. So please talk with everyone. SEO takes time. So raise of hands, who heard that before? Yeah, it takes time. It takes a lot of time. But today, I'm not going to talk about the time it takes to get results. No, I am going to talk about the time and the effort is required by all of the people that have been working with you on the journey of SEO. You're not alone, like just doing keyword research. Like in the last few years, it's become increasingly difficult to create successful campaigns without the help of everybody in the business. And as Helen said before, very nicely, most people will have no clue of what you're going to talk about. You're going to say, yeah, I got EAT, I got to place these keywords, it's great, the algorithm. I say, what? No, like these people will have to work for you, yes? And nobody likes a last minute dump of work, yeah? So make sure you work with them and you have them with you the whole way. And this is how you'll bridge the gap between failure and success. So let's come back to the people. How we do this? Well, I like to call SEO a team sport. Yeah, like it's endurance, takes a long time, takes a lot of effort, a lot of sweat, a lot of practice, and a lot of people involved. So we do this through education and persuasion. Helen talked about education, which was amazing. I'm not going to talk about that today. I'm more going to talk about persuasion because this is equally important. So persuasion, people think, is about coming with a big spreadsheet. Look, case study, it works, it's on the numbers, please do it. Yeah, cold hard facts. Well, actually, persuasion is emotional first. Getting people to do something for you is not just about data. We're all people, we're all human. You need to appeal to them, their problems, their role. And that is very, very, very important. So let's go back to our personas. So we have marketing manager, for example. So they have needs, motivations, and pain points. Everybody has, yeah? Everybody has, and they're very different from each other. So if we start with the needs, I mean, as a marketing manager, you want data, obviously, because you're working with a lot of different channels, and I know we love SEO, and we think SEO is the best, yeah, but actually, there's a lot of channels working at the same time. So you need to make sure you have the right data supplied to him so he can work with the overarching strategy. Pain points, usually, that's marketing manager, who is, for us agencies, are usually the main point of contact, yeah? So they have a lot of pressure. And we come with SEO and say, yeah, do this, do that, it's going to be great. But he probably has another agency or a PPC in-house or a boss who says, I want this, I want that. So, yeah, like you need to work with them, not just dumping stuff to do. So how do we really work with marketing manager? Well, education, empowerment, support, trust. Someone told me one day, a few years ago, if you shine, I shine. And this is how, as agencies or as collaborators, if you shine, I shine. This is how we should treat people we work with. We want the marketing manager to be promoted. We want to educate him, make him better at what he does, make him understand SEO, because if he's happy, trust me, we're happy. Brand managers. So as SEOs, that's something that's quite hard for us sometimes because we want to chuck keywords everywhere on the page, and we just say, oh, brand, we'll figure it out later. But brand is important. Brand is an exercise that is built year after year after year. Brand managers are precious about the brand, and they should be, yeah? So, yes, when we come in and say, I want to create 17 landing pages with a 17 variation of keywords, they might say, I'm not sure, yeah? But that's how it is. We need to work with it. Yeah, brand consistency is very, very hard for businesses with all the social medias, the website, like it's a nightmare to manage. So if you come in and say, by the way, I got all of this to create, go, that's never going to work. So how do we work? Something that I found that works very well is SEO brand integration, like workshops. They love workshop, we love workshop. Let's sit down, whether in-house or as an agency, spend the time with the brand manager to understand the brand. Because if you don't understand it the way they do, they will never approve anything. And if they don't approve it, nothing will go live. So it's one thing to dismiss the brand. The other thing is to just embrace it and work with the brand. And be flexible. Like, by being inflexible in SEO never really works. Head of legal, I mean, that's my nightmare. And I love B2B clients. No, but what you need, like, what they want is just to be compliant. They need to mitigate risk, that's all. They're a gatekeeper, and you need to work with them. That's it, period. So how do you do this? I mean, how do you do it? You need to work with them early on, yeah? So they're very time poor. Usually, they usually don't really care about SEO, but they care about the business. So if you care about the business, these are the people you need to care about. Something we can do is get them in early, very early in the conversation. Even if it's a briefing, early on in the pitch stage or the campaign, the prep, get them early on, get them on board. If they're happy, you'll be happy. Then proactive risk management. If you work in difficult industries, as SEOs, Just learn about the industry. Don't go in throwing recommendation without knowing what it might do. That's very important. That's on us to do. And ask for education. Ask the legal team, the compliance team to have a session with you to understand more about the business, because they will feel empowered that you want to learn about it and they get things on board. The developer, my favorite. So I'm a nerd, so I love working with developers. Their needs are pretty simple. They want a nice brief. It's not that hard. And we'll get into the bad recommendation I've seen in the past. They want recognition, and I don't blame them, because they're usually on the back end, fixing everything for everything to work, and nobody talks about them. Marketing gets all of this, brand gets this, PR gets all the knowledge, and the developer teams are at the back end fixing everything on the weekend because something broke. So work with them and teach them. Offer them support and facilitate the integration, because they work in sprints. Your SEO recommendations are important, yes, to you. He goes on at night, he doesn't care. He's got 17 things to do, done them, that's it. So work with developers with their the sprints to make sure you can integrate your recommendations with them and not against them, because they're usually time poor. Everybody is. Nobody has never have time. They're not twiddling their thumb here waiting for SEO recommendations to be implemented. So work with them and train them, because most of the developers I've worked with in the past, once you work with them and you train them, they bloody love it, because it makes the job a bit different. So, especially with site speed, so they love improving websites. So that's my recommendation. Just spend the time to work with them. So how do we work with the developers? So I've talked a bit different people now. I'm going to do a bit more a dive on the technical side. So how many people here think SEOs should know dev? And how many people think dev should know SEO? Great, we have a half-half. Perfect. Right, so that's a question that's been asked. It's always on Twitter every year, why one should know the other. Yeah, so we have the developer that says, no, it's not, I shouldn't, it's not on me to do it. The SEO is giving me work to do. You should understand what I do. Fair enough, he thinks this. And then we have the SEO who says well, why should I learn the dev? They build a website, the website needs to rank. Without it, it doesn't work, right? So it's on them to know it. So who's right? There's no real answer. So in my opinion, personally, I think SEOs should know dev. I'm not talking to be a full-blown full-stack developer here, yeah? I'm talking about knowing the tech, knowing the platforms you work with. And it's getting harder and harder and harder. Forget this was WordPress and Wix 10 years ago. Now you have Jamstacks, Next.js, you got so many things. And if you don't know what you're working with, how can you make a good recommendation? How can you go to the developer and say, I need to do this without knowing what impact it might have with him? It's hard. Because that is not a bloody recommendation, yeah? This, if you want your developer to run off and never talk to you ever again, send him this. And you're sure you'll never get anything implemented. Because this I've seen too many times. Screenshot, send to developer, fix this. Great, 87 kilobytes. That can make a massive difference. But no, I've seen that way too much. Do you know this? Is it worth it first? Do you understand how it works? What does the file do? Which files within it? What platform is it on? Do you understand? If you don't understand all this, how can you send this to someone to fix? It's not fair. It's not fair on the person that you're trying to give work to, because you're just taking the piss a bit, right? This, right? Let's just move some folders around. Yeah, I've seen this, move it here, it's great for SEO. Okay, cool. What CMS it is on? Is it a custom build? Is it easy? Is it redirects? Can you manage redirects? No idea. So that's not a recommendation. Again, flying tags. Let's set them all in a spreadsheet. Go. Okay, cool, it might do it, but okay, is there an issue with canonical tags? Are they linked? Is it dynamic? Like, can you, CMS, actually do that? This is not a recommendation. You need to understand the platform you're working with and give the right recommendation. Yeah, I love this one. Yeah, cool, let's just move the title here, and I want 2 H3 and an H4. Seems easy. Everybody thinks like every website is a drag and drop, and everything's fine. Nah, it doesn't work like that. If you work with enterprise websites, it never works like this. So this is a lot of work. Again, work with the developer, understand the pain point. Like if that's a 70-hour project, you can't just dump down on someone without explanations. So when you give a recommendation to someone, which is your request, yeah, always make sure, you answer the needs of the person you're talking to, feeds into their motivation, because if they don't want to do it, they won't do it for you, and you don't. And the pain points, like this is very, very, very important, and this is why I said, I'm not talking about SEO here. I'm literally talking about how you talk to people. That's how people operate. That's persuasion, yeah? That's how you work with them and you respect them. And I found the decade of career I had, this is how things get done. People with people. That's a great recommendation. Right, so SEO is a team sport. Yeah, we all agreed on it. You work with people and it's great. So to finish, I just want to give you a few tips, yeah, to help you get things implemented. So when you start a campaign, as I said before, get everyone involved. Not the C-suite, because most of the time they don't care. Like, talk to the people you want to work with clients, where you meet the clients, you meet the teams, you meet everybody, even if they're not going to know SEO, but just spend the time to understand their needs, their motivation, their pain points. We are people, we all have a lot of work to do, but we all want to work together. Create a plan that outlines the work each team has to do. Again, this is very important. When you start a project, SEO in-house agency the same way. Plan it, plan the work, give the work to the teams, like the content team. If you work with, I don't know, like insurance company with the brokers, like tell them in advance how much work it will be throughout the year, because again, nobody likes to be dumped a lot of work last minute. And with SEO, you need constant improvement, yeah? So to get constant improvement, you need the buy-in from everyone involved from the get-go. 3, again, nurture the key stakeholders. That's important. That's everyone. That's not your marketing manager. That's not your CMO. It's everyone in the business. 4, get approval for fundamental changes before even starting. So that is more geared towards agencies. Don't pitch for a client, say we're going to do this, that, we're going to change the website, we're going to move all the architecture, and you haven't checked that actually the CMS doesn't allow it. So check beforehand, talk to the teams, talk to the developers, talk to the CMO. Make sure you can implement your stuff before starting. And finally, remember that you are only as good as the team you work with. Again, SEO is a team sport. Thank you.
Monthly reporting making you want to shove sharp things up your nose? Try Dragon Metrics, the all-in-one SEO software with mind-blowing reporting tools.